classification of candidate genes that is involved in life tradeoffs in outcrossing model Arabidopsis lyrata. I actually started this project about 3 years ago, or roughly 4 years ago, but I had been constantly come upon the hurdle about encountering the mapping biases. The reason being, one of the population is actually more close to the reference genome, and there was always more tendency of that, at least from that population, to align with the reference genome. So I'm taking a deeper genome alignment method approach and to identify the candidate genes that are actually involved in lifestyle trade-offs. So I actually got interested in this project because of my interest in cost of reproduction, which is actually a negative correlation between lifespan and fecundity, and this is a very pervasive phenomenon because of the resource limitation in natural environment. And the other problem is because there are always competing functions within the organisms that actually demand resources. So I started this project in evolutionary model Arabidopsis lyrata, that's the sister species of Arabidopsis thaliana. And we actually looked into two different populations. One is from Europe, Speeder is from Norway. Another one is from Ireland, North Carolina. And you can see that when grown in the same field site, they actually really have contrasting life history traits. Where one of the population is investing most of its resources into reproduction, and that can be seen by its effect on flowering. The other population is actually putting most of its resources into vegetative reproduction, vegetative maintenance. So in the same study, they actually found that these life history trade-offs actually had a very strong genetics and environmental basis. So what you can see over here is in terms of the Norway environment, you can see both the native and non-native population actually, the non-native population actually has a lower survivability, but the native population has a higher survivability. But in the North Carolina environment, both the population actually have a lower survivability. In terms of the reproductive output, in the Norway environment, both the population actually have lower reproductive output, but in North Carolina environment, the native native population actually has a higher reproductive output. So this actually shows there's a very strong genetic basis and the genetics by environmental interaction happening over there. In the same study, they actually found that this lifestyle trade-offs was actually emanating from the linkage group 2 QTL as the later part of the chromosome number 2. And the structural efficient modeling that actually suggested is that it was mainly related with the early branching patterns. So how is really branching pattern related with life history trade-offs? The branching in plants is actually mainly decided by the meristems. So unlike in animals where the germline is segregated early in the development, in plants that really does not happen. So meristems, which are analogous to germline in animals, actually have to make the decision whether to invest that resource into reproductive tissue versus vegetative tissue. And meristem is always budging with molecular activity. So whatever happens in the meristem, whatever gene expression differences happens in the meristem is actually mainly likely to lead to the population level differences. So I was interested in what are the genes involved and what are the function of these genes. The homology scan of this gene, of the linkage group 2 or say chromosome number 2 actually showed these developmental genes like P1, P2, BRC2, and P3, and these genes are the genes that are mainly involved in development to actually helps in the branching patterns. So are these the genes that are really involved in the life trade-offs between these two populations? So that was the question. So we actually hypothesized that the divergent population of the lyrata actually shows variation in the regulation of these developmental genes from this chromosome region number 2. And if that was the cause, then we were predicting that the myelin alleles of these genes would actually show higher expression levels compared to its superior counterpart. So to test that hypothesis, I actually took a hybrid system where I would cross population A with population B and create a F1 hybrid and try to test statistically if the allele from population A is expressed equally or differently than allele from population B. And using a hybrid system was a very strong approach because both the homologous chromosomes are exposed to the same pool of transcription factors. So that actually gives you a very good idea if the variation is actually like emanating from the cis variation. So I used that approach where I prepare a F1 hybrid and extract RNA-seq from several different samples. But finally, like, we only took like several good quality samples. There were like 4, and we actually like did. So this is not genome. So we only did the transcriptome alignment using RNA star. But one of the problems we faced was like the allele-specific quantification was like more biased towards the myosin allele. The reason being like this was more close to the reference genome. So we had to like take a whole different approach, like take a step back, and actually I had to go through the preparation of this pipeline, where I took the RNA-seq reads, align it, call the variant seeding GATK pipeline, and after that the variant is called, we actually like phase that variant into like several different haplotype blocks. These haplotype blocks would have to be like prepared into a genome-wide haplotype block before like doing a quantitative alignment. So we like segregated those haplotypes into like the myosin-like haplotype and spiritual-like haplotype. And after that haplotype was prepared, we actually included those into the reference genome and we prepared a diploid genome and a diploid gene feature files, so gene transcriptome feature files. And then we aligned the reads using RNA star. We actually, using RNA star and then counted the number of unique alignments at each different locus. So I don't have much of the technical details into how I did this diploid alignment, but our results actually show that there has been, so out of these 4 different genes that we predicted, PIN1 actually showed moderate level of expression in all the samples, but really did not show any evidence of allele-specific biases. BRCA, which actually we were really interested in, like we saw allele-specific expression, had a lower level of expression and had a kind of uniform level of expression between the 2 alleles. But these 2 candidates actually like came out as we had predicted, and when we see like allele-specific biases in PILS2 and PIN3, where PILS2 actually shows a moderate level of expression in all the samples, but still has AAC differences. But the PIN3 actually has higher level of expression and higher level of AAC differences. So we were able to test several of the genes, and we think like there is still some problem with this alignment. The problem could be like there could be a dilution effect because we're talking about the single mergers, but we actually like took the RNA-seq reads from the whole sample. Another problem that could be like these alleles could be acting at a very specific life stages, which we may not be able to encounter. So I actually was only able to finish this haplotype phasing last week, so I was not able to put lots of technical details over here. But this is what it looks like. I'd like to thank my advisor, Dr. Remington, and several people on Stack Exchanges. There are several of my plots, and this is one of the problems that we still need to like take care of. Like we actually have better results compared to last year because of our alignment and the diploid genome, but it still has something to take care of. So, if you have any questions, let me know.